small. Watch the clock ticking off the wall. But tonight I'm letting it go. Spend my coin for sure. I'm gonna be myself, or I could be someone else. No one's stopping me now. I'm gonna skip my breaks, I'm gonna make mistakes. I just wanna feel alive. It's just what I do when I'm out, so try not to hold me down. Feel alive when I'm in this town. Look at those beautiful stars. I wanna drive a faster car. Nothing can break me, no, no, nothing can break me. Try not to hold me down. Feel alive when I'm in this town. Look at those beautiful stars. I wanna take a trip to Mars. Nothing can break me, no, no, nothing can break me. I wanna drive a faster car. Lay my troubles to rest. Blow the smoke through my cigarette. City lights looking fine, and I know this is my time now. I'm gonna be myself, or I could be someone else. No one's stopping me now. I'm gonna skip my breaks, I'm gonna make mistakes. I just wanna feel alive. It's just what I do when I'm out, so try not to hold me down. Feel alive when I'm in this town. Look at those beautiful stars. I wanna drive a faster car. Nothing can break me, no, no, nothing can break me. Try not to hold me down. Feel alive when I'm in this town. Nothing can break me, no, no, nothing can break me. Look at the beautiful stars. I wanna drive a faster car. I'm gonna be myself, I'm gonna be someone else. I'm gonna be myself, I'm gonna be someone else. I'm gonna skip my breaks, I'm gonna make mistakes. I'm gonna skip my breaks, I'm gonna make mistakes. I'm gonna be myself, I'm gonna be someone else. I'm gonna be myself, I'm gonna be someone else. I'm gonna skip my breaks, I'm gonna make mistakes. I'm gonna skip my breaks, I'm gonna make mistakes. Try not to hold me down. Feel alive when I'm in this town. Look at those beautiful stars. I wanna drive a faster car. Nothing can break me, no, no, nothing can break me. Try not to hold me down. Feel alive when I'm in this town. Look at those beautiful stars. I wanna take a trip to Mars. Nothing can break me, no, no, nothing can break me.
Hey everyone, and welcome to our fourth virtual Caffeine and Gasoline. I'm Nick.
I'm Richard.
And I'm Stevie.
And Stevie is off camera, but she is our MC. Always appreciated, Stevie. Today, for our fourth virtual Caffeine and Gasoline, and once again, we're hoping to have some actual Caffeine and Gasolines pretty soon. We've had some customers come in asking where the show is. We're joined by some of our good friends, the co-hosts of Everyday Driver. And at Griot's Garage, we sponsor Everyday Driver. But Paul, Todd, how are you doing?
We're good. We're good. We wish we were with you because,
Yeah, no kidding.
like you said, I mean, we're looking at cars. We're all doing it virtually. We're going on drives by ourselves. Let's get back as a community. I'm excited for that to happen.
Yeah, guys, thanks for having us on. We're excited to join you. Enjoy.
Yeah, we're really we're
would
missing
like
you
to-
guys. The last time we did a live event with you all, it was here behind some cars.
Yeah,
So
for
Yeah, we had a podcast directly from your studio there, the garage there. That was pretty fun.
Yeah, we can't wait to do that again. In fact, it'll be very cool.
I want to say hi to my mom who's watching this for the first time. Hi, Mom. How
Very
are you doing?
cool. Very cool. That's great.
Love you.
Awesome.
You aren't getting frantic texts about can't find you, how do I do this? That's not happening?
Well, guys, why don't you tell us a little bit about Everyday Driver, what you guys do, the entirety of your scope and reach. So, yeah, tell us about Everyday Driver.
Well, mainly we talk about cars a lot. We started off as a YouTube channel, but our primary properties now are our television show, which is on the Motor Trend cable channel, and also goes to Amazon Prime and streams there. And then we have this podcast. You can see this is where we podcast.
Yeah,
We've
this
done
is the
over
studio.
500 podcasts that we do twice a week, Tuesdays and Fridays.
Yeah, well, we've just had this thought that we want to get people in cars. And we found that we share, just like Nick and Richard, the same kind of feeling. We want you to drive your car. We want you to get in your car and enjoy it. And so not only are we doing the podcast, the TV show, you can find the YouTube channel, but annually we take what's called a pilgrimage trip to Germany and to Belgium, and we take you, the listeners, the fans of the show, on a trip with us, on a paid trip, and we want to put you in cars with instructors on the Nürburgring, and then we drive to Belgium and we put you on track, on Spa-Francorchamps track, the Formula One track. So we do that annually. This year we are not able to, of course, as you can see, we're virtual at this point.
Yeah.
But we're looking forward to 2021 and doing that very thing. And like I said, we just want to get people in cars and have people start to experience tires and driving and all the aspects, what we love about driving. And then, of course, you know, partnering with you guys, we love, and keeping it clean.
I want to sign up for that trip.
Yeah, we're going to have to go.
That'd be awesome.
Honestly,
We'd love to have
you
you.
guys have to come. You guys
Yeah.
have to come. It's an amazing trip that we take. We have so much fun. It's an all-inclusive, but people are always amazed because of the range of drivers that show up. We have people every year that have never been on track, and the people every year that they never leave the track. And so everybody hangs out together, which is really fun. Yeah. But as the name of the show suggests, Everyday Driver, we typically focus on stuff that's more on the affordable side, generally like 60 grand or less, but we're car guys. We get in and talk about everything. The thing that's fun about the podcast, the TV show is much more focused, obviously, but the podcast, we just take, kind of like we're doing today, people's original stories about, here's my situation, here's how many kids I have, here's my budget, I'd like a car. Even if it's a minivan or an electric or a Prius or whatever, we want to make sure whatever car you wind up in, you love it, and it's not just an appliance. So all of our podcast and TV show and everything, it's focused on finding a car you love so that you go out in your driveway and go, that's my car, and you drive it somewhere and you're happy about it.
Well, that's
Yeah.
what cars are about.
I think you run the full gamut. I mean, again, you're getting questions about, you know, reliability and certain circumstance, but in the end, you're still trying to feed that passion with whatever you said. Like, it's not an appliance, it's a tool you should enjoy. I think the intro to your podcast nails it, right? It's not just an A to B. This is something that every time you get in, you should have that love, that experience, and kind of curating that enthusiasm that we all care about.
Every time you get in a car, you ought to drive the car that is behind Nick right now, the Delta Negro. Oh, wait a minute, I'm on camera? No, that would be the Mahari right behind me. Anyway, yeah, that is a Mahari, in case you guys...
That is so cool.
I practically want to see you just get in it for fun. That's really what I'm thinking about. Yeah.
I tip it over. Yeah. I got to get in for the back and then, work my way. Otherwise, if you get in from the driver's side, the whole thing just rocks this way. So.
Well, and part of the problem that we've always had with Paul and Todd is that we can't condense our conversations. So the last time you guys were up here, we took 4 cars out, on the Kitsap Peninsula, and literally talked for 8 hours, and then tried to distill that into an hour-and-a-half live event, and then we went to dinner. So I think we probably talked for 10 hours straight that day about cars.
Yeah.
We're still talking about that day, as a matter of fact, and that manual V12 has gotten under my skin. I shop for those now.
Yes.
I just cruise and see what today's prices are. It's gotten under my skin. Anyway, thank you guys for that. It was hilarious.
Great, really fun.
Great.
Well, we're stoked to have you guys. We're going to start the show. Just a couple orders of business. We at Griot's Garage are still, thankfully, without any COVID infections throughout all of our employees, and we hope that you guys are staying safe and healthy back home. Our Tacoma store is open on a will call basis from 9 to 2. That will be changing a little bit as we enter different phases of reopening. So I don't know where you're at in your country or in the country. If you can go to a physical car show, I'm jealous of you. But right now we still can't have that. So this is the best we can do, and we hope you guys enjoy it. We got a lot of awesome submissions for this event, so we're gonna just show you some pictures of everything you sent, and then we have some categories and some winners.
And some prizes.
Yes, some
There you
prizes
go.
as well.
There you go.
Lots of prizes. My
All
son
right.
is so stingy with the prizes. He wants to, every weekend we go through this, and literally he'll give you like, I don't know, half a bottle of speed shine that he's already used. So hopefully today we'll have something a little better.
Wow, that's throwing it down, Richard. Wow.
Yeah.
That's to be expected. But, all right.
Oh, you've met him, Nick. I see. I see how this goes. Got it. All right.
Okay. I love these old Mercedes. He called this the golden era. I don't know if I can disagree with him.
Well, it's got the AMG wheels. It's fast. It's comfortable. You can go from here down to Monterey with a case of wine in the back and, get there wanting even more cases of wine. But
Easy there. Watch how you mix those
Is that a
things,
voice
but
of
still.
experience?
Yeah, it's fun though.
Done this before?
So let's see, what year is this? 89, somewhere around there? So those were, the white wheels were actually an option. So you could check that box to match the paint. But whose car is this? This is Greg's car?
Yeah.
Yeah. Greg, beautiful car.
Ooh.
Comp package. Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, you can tell by the drilled brake rotors and the wheels. Guys, what do you have to say about this?
Well, I love the offset interior color. I just love that kind of caramel interior colors on darker cars. I always think it looks amazing.
Well, yeah, that is still the car that everybody benchmarks. Everybody says
Yeah, you're right.
E46,
You're right.
BMW
Yeah, yeah.
M3. We always go to that when we're comparing any other new M3. We always kind of harken back to that particular car. One of my favorites.
E55.
Yeah.
Compressor.
Yeah, that's a stealth bomber there.
Yeah, no kidding.
This gentleman's from Trinidad and Tobago, and he actually has, Tobago, excuse me. He has one of our what happens in my garage stays in my garage, and he's always owned rotary cars. Pretty cool.
No kidding.
That's very cool.
Fantastic.
You've got to have the love for the rotary. But that's the thing about the rotary cars, though, is they just get under people's skin, and then all they want to do is talk rotary because they're so different, and people that love them really love them.
Right.
So that's cool to see.
I think I was just completely blown away by when I went to test drive a Mazda. Must have been like 1976 when I was 16 years old. Couldn't wait to get out of the house. Sorry, Mom. But I think when that thing wrapped out to 13,000 RPM and then just did its little backfire, that was awesome. I didn't buy it though, so the salesman was a little angry.
You just redlined the car.
Just read them. Well,
Dropped it back on the lot.
It was like a
Gave her the
motorcycle.
keys back.
So we're going to cut some clover with the spoiler here.
Yeah.
This is
No
awesome.
Oh,
kidding.
yeah, why?
So what do you do to get to a 427?
That was a Roush-built car, supercharged. I'm
okay.
not sure if they
Yeah,
do
so
any top-end
strobed.
work. Or,
Yeah. All right. Never mind. I'll be quiet.
It's a 530i. This gentleman's a BMW tech, has 200,000 plus miles on that car.
Oh, you're kidding.
Does not look it. That's impressive. That
Those are
looks great.
fantastic.
Looks
I,
really
I
good.
still see those 540s from that era, and I think,
Yeah.
that's like the sleeper. Everybody wants the M5, but the 540 with the 6-speed manual, that was also the car to have too.
Yeah, those were
Also
great.
fast.
That was the donor for our detail wagon, was a 540 from that era with a 6-speed.
Right. That's right. Fantastic.
Just plenty.
Love that detail wagon.
It is plenty of power. That one's for you, Paul.
Yeah, for sure it is.
Love it.
Yeah, for sure.
Love
it
it.
is.
One of my favorites.
We
I'm
could just stop
Cayman
there and be
junkie.
done. Paul would just stare at that for a while. Yeah.
Gorgeous. And it looks like California, I think. So
Monterey. Yeah, it
somebody's
looks
on
like PCH.
Pacific Coast Highway
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
Paul, what do you think about the new 718?
Look, I have really discovered Caymans, and every time I think, all right, what's next? I love my Cayman and it's so much. Ago now?
Yeah, about 18
Been
months
longer,
ago, yeah.
18 months. So we had the 718. Now that's before the new 718 GTS, which now people are wondering sort of why is that car so close to the new 718 GT4, even though it's naturally aspirated. So I will take any one of them, but personally, I love the sound because the 4-cylinder does have history in Porsche's lineup. Actually, they were first, so if you want to say it's Subaru, it is not Subaru.
Source of argument here, yeah.
It's not Subaru. It sounds like a Porsche. So I'm all about the 718, and it feels like they brought a little bit of the rawness from the 987 generation back. They sort of skipped over the car that I have, the 981, and actually made it a little bit more engaging, a little bit more raw, that kind of feel, even though it's a newer car. So personally, I'm sold. I love them.
You guys have got a couple hours to just let him talk Porsche.
Yeah.
Right? 'Cause
we need to move on to the next car.
We knew what we were getting into.
Okay.
Yeah, be careful.
Just checking.
I would imagine this guy buys our polish by the gallon.
Hopefully
Yeah.
he's using the foaming system.
Awesome.
So that the RV was actually submitted by Mike, who has the Countach that we showed last time.
Oh,
All
really?
right.
Wonder if he tows the
Countach,
Countach.
RV, just balance the garage, yeah.
Brilliant.
Yeah. Countach and a motorhome. What else you need? Go everywhere.
You don't need a house.
All right. So our-
That's why he has an RV, because the money's in the
Go
Countach.
car show to car show. That's how you live.
Okay, so for our first category, we had a lot of submissions from some of our our partners that are builders around the country, so we thought we'd run through them. And then we had a couple people that had cars built on their behalf by some of our builder friends. So had some great submissions. We'll just start it off, showing you a couple of them.
Yeah, so our first winner is Steve James with his 1969 Camaro. The car came off the assembly line in Southern California as a Z28. The project started in May of 2016. Chris Holstrom Concepts in Puyallup, Washington did the build. It was debuted at the 2017 SEMA show and has won many awards, including multiple Builder's Choice Awards from the Good Guys Rod and Custom Association.
I like that a lot.
Gorgeous.
That red interior sets it off, too. That's really awesome.
So I really like Chris Holstrom. He's a local guy here, but these cars are built to be driven. They're definitely show cars, but they're really well balanced. In fact, the first time I met him in person was in July of 2017. He may have been driving this car at the autocross at the Des Moines, Iowa show. So,
Wow.
Excellent.
you know, they're built to be thrashed.
That is cool. That's very cool.
Amazing. Beautiful work.
I hope he has sponsorship with Michelin tires.
Yeah, he's going to need a few. Yeah, for sure.
All right, Stevie, what's next?
Our next is a Goolsby Bug. Jeff Powell's vision for his 1963 Volkswagen Bug was a Euro race-inspired hot rod Beetle. He contacted Goolsby Customs to perform the task, starting with a custom brown exterior color. Inside the Bug, the interior has blue leather with plaid inserts. Exterior modifications include the windshield wipers and vent windows deleted, lowered front beam with four-wheel disc brakes, adjustable shocks on all corners with aluminum 15-inch wheels. Engine-wise, the 40-horsepower weakling was swapped out for a 2275cc air-cooled monster running dual 48mm Webers and a close ratio Pro Street transaxle. All this packaged together reached Powell's goal of a Euro race-inspired Beetle.
Wow.
It's not the love bug, but it's certainly a lot faster.
Like the leather with the tartan. That just sets it off.
Yeah,
that's
that's
great.
a crazy, unique animal, for sure. I'm also confused, sorry, side note. The guy that shoots TV in me is confused by the fact there's a blue line in the street. Where'd that come from? Sorry, but I've never seen a Beetle like that, though. That is just a sleeper. That is angry.
Yeah, it is. Lightweight, lots of horsepower. Perfect.
And look at the
John Goolsby from Hueytown, Alabama. I guess they paint their streets different colored stripes down there. So John's a good friend of ours.
He just had fun in Photoshop. Wanted a blue line. Who knows? Yeah.
We love John. We see him everywhere. But yeah, Bug's a little different. He usually does a lot of American hot rods. So
Yeah, I love
we
it.
do have one of those to show you guys as well.
Yes, our next is a Chevelle, also built by Goolsby. John Lexus contacted Goolsby Customs in Hueytown, Alabama, from the Netherlands to build this 1967 Chevelle. His first ever visit to America was to see this project shortly after it began. A custom chassis and suspension was added. The power plant features a built supercharged LS3 producing 626 horsepower with custom headers and 3-inch exhaust. Stopping power includes a big brake kit on all 4 corners while wrapped with 19x9 and 20x12 wheels. The paint and interior was finished with a Ferrari vibe. Once everything was complete, it was loaded up on a cargo plane and sent to its new home in the Netherlands.
Gorgeous. Plenty of power.
John Lexus, that's a cool car. And I like the Daytona seats. That's pretty, very Euro.
Well, I love the grand American adventure there of come over here to see the car and then take it back. I mean, that's quite an American icon moment. I love that. That's very cool.
Yeah, talk about culture shock. First time coming to America, you go down to a small town in Alabama to see your Chevelle being built. But
Exactly right.
Yeah, I'm hoping he had a chance to open it up, while he was here and do the test drive.
Yes, find an American back road just to say you did it, for sure, yeah.
All right, and then our winner was submitted by Dean Scott. It is a 1932 Henry Ford Roadster. Dean and his wife are on their 3rd restoration of what was his late father's 32 Ford. They have owned it since 1982, and in 2016, they restored it on behalf of Dean's father. That last restoration made the car nice enough to compete in the Grand National Roadsters Show, America's Most Beautiful Roadster competition. His favorite feature is the stack-injected 1970 Ford Boss 302 engine and the limited edition Real Rodder Indy 2-pin drive magnesium wheels.
So what is it that makes the 32 Ford so gorgeous? I mean, it is probably one of the most iconic shapes, the grille, just upright, smooth hood. I mean, it is definitely probably the prettiest Roadster year, except for the 36 where it just kind of swoops down into the lower bumper. Anywho, awesome. Any other comments, guys?
No, it's very cool.
Yeah, gorgeous car. I love the history that owners have with their cars, and that's part of car ownership right there for me. That really works for me, so I love it.
yeah, AMBR is a pretty esteemed award. So we can't see that car in person, but it's part of the Bay Area Roadster Club, who we see when we go down to Pleasanton for that Good Guys show. Love all the members of that group, very passionate people. And again, just to be in that class of AMBR competition, that thing's got to be really, really nice. So congratulations, Dean. You are our first category winner. You're going to receive a Concours lawn kit. So once you can go back to car shows in California, you'll have everything you need to keep that thing perfectly clean upon arrival at the show. So I'm sure you've got some awards ahead of you, but be sure to reach out to us. We'll probably follow up with you as well, but that is it for our best pro-built car. So I did want to ask you guys, having an everyday driver, you guys on, we have to have a little bit of a debate, okay?
Please,
Excellent.
And we asked the question last year, but times have changed, and we've been teased a little bit by some stuff that hasn't been released. What is the new car that you guys are looking most forward to either driving, reviewing, or seeing just finally debuted?
Oh, there's so many. As a matter of fact, we do have shortly a C8 Corvette Stingray lined up to introduce and drive as part of our television series. So it'll be a TV episode, but we're also going to drive it and finish off the Corvette film as well. So we drove all the generations of the Corvette in the American original, and so we want to drive that and really have a mindset of where its place in history goes. So definitely the C8 is up there, but I'm honestly, there's some controversial cars coming out in 2020, like the Mustang Mach-E, and BMW has recently introduced the 4 Series with the different looking front end. And
well put.
We need to make friends with the front end because it's here to stay, apparently.
I don't know that we need to make friends, but anyway, yeah.
So I'm looking forward to driving those cars, but also there's the Bronco coming out. And
Bronco.
Interestingly, I'm kind of curious as to how Ford is going to be positioning it and what they're going to be doing with it. So
When is Ford
I can see that,
going
but the one I have to say, because of history with the brand is the 400Z. I want Nissan
Yeah,
to really
yeah.
genuinely come out with that. Let's see what getting a little more consistent. But the soup is much better than people think it is.
Yeah, it is.
But it needs competition. The Z car has been waiting for a refresh. The joke is that the 50th anniversary and the 40th anniversary are the same Z car.
They are.
So let's get a new one out. I'm very curious about that.
Yeah, we continually tease Nissan because we thought they were just on life support. And apparently we're seeing 400Z rumors and sketches and
We'll see. It'd
something
be nice.
coming out. So
Okay, so since I'm the final judge here, all the other
We're excited
things.
for
Yeah,
Nissan to bring the
it's the
wood.
Bronco. And Ford, I don't know if you're listening. I don't know if anyone works for Ford. Stevie, could you get on the thing? And anybody that works for Ford, just call me directly. Our family wants to buy 5 of them. I want to buy one for my dad because that 2-door will be really nice for his dog to jump in. So if anybody knows when the Bronco is going to be ready, call me personally at 1-800-345-5789 and ask for me.
He's remarkably consistent, isn't he, guys? He said that a year ago. We're still waiting.
We're still waiting. All right.
Wow. Yeah, that's all the hard part is the stuff that gets teased. It's always the line between teased and when is it available. And it's funny when people write us sometimes for the podcast and they say, I'm thinking about waiting on this car and it's just been rumored. We're like, buy something else. You've got 2 or 3 years because they just rumored that it may come. Don't wait on that car. It's not like it's 6 months from now. It's like 2 years from now.
I've been waiting like 15 years
Or
for
in the
this
case
Bronco.
of the Z. There you go. Yeah.
No
Yeah,
kidding.
for sure.
Hey, are you guys familiar with the Alpine A110 that we're hearing rumors of its demise now? Every time we've been going to Europe, we've been wanting to drive this car because it's sort of like Renault builds a Cayman. And we want to drive this car, but we're not sure what's going to happen with the car itself. And we still have not been in that car. So
Well,
a
they
little bit of
invited
forbidden fruit
me.
there, too.
Yeah, I mean, they invited me to drive the car. I've driven the car. I still want the Bronco. So let's get on with the next. Sorry, guys.
Bronco it is. Good to know.
Look, guys, I like the A110 as well. I mean, that's like when I talk about unobtainium, it's like a Renault Clio V6, the mid-mounted one, and then that Alpine. Those are 2 of my weird French cars that I just lust after.
You don't lust after the Mahari? I mean, honestly, who
Unfortunately,
doesn't
no.
love the Mahari?
Yeah, it's okay. It's okay. But
All right.
yeah, I think the new BMW 4 Series has a face that only a mother could love, and yeah, that one's pretty rough.
And maybe
but
not even then. Yeah.
Exactly.
Did they rehire Bangle? Is he back?
I don't think it's Chris Bangle. Do you know who's the designer,
it's-
Paul?
No, it's actually a new designer, and they're standing on the BMW needs strong and bold in emotion, and I'm just not convinced that's the way to go. And I've predicted on our podcast, I think they're going to backpedal. I think they're going to do the 50-yard backstroke and come back and change the front clip because that is the easiest thing to change. The rest of the sheet metal actually looks pretty good.
Yeah.
But that front, woo! Nobody I've talked to so far has said, yeah, there's some redeeming qualities in there. That hasn't
It's
happened.
a
you
tough
guys-
one. It's really tough.
Are you guys sponsored by BMW at all? Because
No, we've avoided
there's not a
direct automotive
chance-
sponsorship,
Yes.
but
Yeah, there's
clearly
not-
BMW is not going to line up now.
yeah, there's not a chance they're going to flip you $5. So anyway, Stevie,
While you guys
fair.
are debating in the chat, we're talking about how C7s look better than C8s. If you guys want to weigh in on
Oh
that.
gosh, I don't want to.
did any
pour
Bronco
gasoline on that fire.
personnel chime in? When are we getting the
no,
Bronco?
someone did agree that they can't wait to see it though.
Yeah. Okay. Come on, Ford. Let's go. Let's go. Come on. I would have done 2
All right,
years
well,
ago.
let's keep the show moving. We'll have a couple more debates, I'm certain, but here's some more honorable mentions. Again, we can't avoid having some form of debate, and apparently.
Yes.
you know,
Well, there will be more debates. Knowing those 2 guys, we're going to be mud wrestling here.
Trip. It's a short trip. Yeah, it's a good thing we're not in the same room. I take your point. Yeah.
All right.
So these are some more honorable mentions.
yeah, if anybody out there is going to submit photos of their Golf R, you're going to have my attention. All right, so.
Love it.
I like that.
2-door
Oh, there we
post.
go.
You know, we've got so many great photos
look
of
at the
people
chrome.
driving their cars. It's perfect for you guys to be joining us because we love photos of the cars out in the wild, right? We got photos
Yeah.
of the car in
Yeah.
the garage, but you're driving your 55, somewhere in the countryside enjoying it. Like perfect.
That was a beautiful backdrop.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool.
So my son didn't even know Pontiac made a two-door Grand Prix of this magnitude.
Well, you have to understand, when I was young, all the Grand Prix were like front-wheel drive and weird looking, so I just didn't have this car in my head, so I was pretty excited to see it.
I actually had to take him to the Pontiac dealer when he was, I don't know, probably 6 or 7. Remember when you want to go see the Aztec? I thought, oh gosh, this is not my son. Who somebody crept in and stole my baby out of the manger.
But he's come around, Richard. It's you know, my son has his head turned. He's 10. He has his head turned by all kinds of things. I'm like, really? And then I have to go, you know, he likes cars. That's what he's into at 10. Hopefully he'll come around. But then of course he keeps telling me that I can never ever sell my Lotus. So he's clearly mine. So that helps.
Okay. Well,
I still like the Aztec. I don't know why. It's a weird part of me. I think it's the same part that likes the Cybertruck, and I don't know.
Rubbermaid meets Pontiac.
Love these Jags.
Yes.
These things sound so good.
Yeah, they do.
Amazing.
Nothing like a small block V8.
Gorgeous. They're really pretty.
This gentleman sent us an enormous amount of photos of his Corvette. He's got a great garage. He loves his car, it's clear. And clean garage. I always like that.
It's super clean. Yeah, for sure.
There you go, another one out in the wild.
Adventurer. Every photo we got of this Mini was out in a wild environment. So it was pretty cool.
That's great.
He's
It could almost be sideways, you know, safariizing through the trees sideways, the rally stage.
I think he's just running away from the law. If I had to think of, I mean, there is nobody anywhere.
He is all by himself. Yes.
Yeah.
No front license plate, that's a ticket.
That was my first clue. He was running away from the law.
Oh, man. It's a 17-year-old guy that bought the car in non-running condition. He's working to put it back together so he can drive it.
Is there anything wrong with T-tops? I mean, do they leak? Because I'm a big T-top guy.
T-tops.
When they are sealed right, they're great. They're really cool. Yeah.
Love those B bodies.
Super B.
So
What is
big.
That? Is that a Super B?
Yeah.
Yeah.
A Cornet? Great design.
Love the color too. Really
Yeah.
pretty.
Not quite like the Moriarty, but it's close.
Not quite. You keep selling that, Richard. You're trying to
You
bring
know
us
what?
all around. I like it. Yeah.
For all you guys on the YouTube, this car is for sale, and I will give you a year's supply of speed shine.
Okay.
That is the shiniest car I've ever seen.
But it's small enough that a year's supply is probably one of the small bottles too. So
Right.
you know.
Right.
Oh, gosh. All right, let's move on to our next category. Best story.
Yes, our first winner is Ryan Wilkinson with his 1968 Camaro SS. This vehicle has a major sentimental value to me as my grandfather and I have worked on this car since I was able to remember. My grandfather is a major influence in my life and has taught me a lot about vehicles, especially the love for upkeep, maintenance, and cleaning of a car, which is something that he is trying to instill into his son. This car is up next for a deep detail.
427.
And it looks gorgeous now. Up next for a deep detail. How dark, dirty has that thing gotten? I don't know. Anyway, yeah.
It's the Griot's Garage products. Come on, if you guys are going to be on our YouTube live channel, at least plug our products over there, would you
No,
please?
here's the thing you have to understand, Richard. This guy, Paul, is dedicated to ridiculous, like, do everything you can imagine in cleaning, and his stuff has honestly been. There was a press launch we were at years ago, and they had all these cars, and he had a like 6 or 8 year old Audi at the time, and he left, and they tried to stop him at the gate because they thought he was leaving in a press car. So this is how his cars look.
Yes,
I'm thrilled when my cars
Griot's.
are just vaguely clean. And what's amazing is, honestly, I can roll the Lotus out because in spite of being British made, it can't survive a strong rain. So you have to be careful with the seals. You have to hand wash that car, which is not good for me because I'm not that guy. He's that guy, I'm not that guy. I can wash the Lotus and it look fantastic quality, and that is not me, that is your products. And I can kind of bumble through and do the opposite of what he would do and walk back and be like, that car looks great, and that's not my doing. So thank God for your stuff, for sure.
Well, thank you, because we're 35 minutes into the show, and this is the first time that I've even heard you guys say something about what great products we have.
Oh my goodness. All right, we're gonna keep going, guys. Thank you for your compliments. You appeased him. Let's move on.
Hey, it's true. I need to clean it like this weekend, in fact.
All right,
thank
come
God
on.
It's not gonna take
Don't
forever.
butter me up now. A little late for that. Okay, Justin.
Yes, our
Buddy.
next winner is Justin Moriarty with his 1932 Ford Roadster. He said, "This is my 1932 Ford Roadster that was pretty much built at my house with the help of my dad. We have been going to car shows together since I was 10 in 1984 in my dad's 1940 Ford Coupe. Through the years and all the shows growing up, I became fond of the 1932 Ford and kept up on them and took lots and lots of pictures. In 2008, my dad needed a kidney, and I was fortunate to be healthy enough and a perfect match, so I was able to donate him one of my kidneys in 2009. When he started feeling better, he said it was time to build the 32. The build took 5.5 years and was completed in May 2016. My favorite feature would have to be the bright Synergy green paint. It definitely stands out to the traditional red or black. It is most special to me that I built it with my dad, and we are enjoying it together, just like we always have. I really like the Griot Speed Shine. Really brings out the color before cruising or a show."
See, there's a guy that plugged our product.
I see. Sorry, I wasn't caught up enough. I'm sorry.
Justin is an awesome story, and yes, Richard, in fact, all of these people that are submitting cars to us, we presume they are customers. We ask them what their favorite product is. We will have plenty more re-endorsements.
Justin, I love the story. I love the love for your father as well. There's nothing like doing that, for sure.
Yeah, father-son projects, know all about them. It's great. Quick way to get some acknowledgement. Just to clarify, too, for everybody that's getting a singular description and not in the slideshow, you guys are going to get a Caffeine and Gasoline t-shirt from us, so we'll follow up. Stevie has been coordinating that for us, thankfully, and our partner at Group 6 actually makes the shirts for us and ships them directly to you. So we'll follow back up with you, but if your car is featured in part of the categories, you get a shirt, and then the winner gets that Concours kit. So everybody's getting a t-shirt that is in these categories.
That's very cool.
Our next winner is John Warner. John has a pretty special set of Camaros, which he calls Edna, the 1967, and Trudy, the 2017. They are separated by 50 years and both closely correspond to his actual age, where Edna represents his birth, and then he added Trudy as he turned 50. John plans to fully restore Edna and has a paint correction and ceramic coating in the future for Trudy. His favorite Griot's Garage product is fine glass polish.
I love the old 67. Isn't that just beautiful with the faded paint up on the fenders? I think my dad had a 68 that I painted twice. Once for my sister, and then, I don't know, once after I
Same
probably...
color? Yeah, my question. Same color every time?
It wasn't, no, it was that green color. I mean,
Like
it didn't look as
seafoam
nice
green?
as his car. But, John, thank you for that.
I thought it was pretty cool. So both the cars are like, he knows the day they were built, and obviously you can find that with a bunch of VIN numbers. But yeah, 50 years apart as he turned 50. I think he's making an excuse to buy a car. You guys are very familiar with these type of questions, but I thought it was...
Sometimes people write to us and just want approval. They're wrestling with the decision and they're thinking about it, and it's more like, can I give myself permission? We always say, yeah, if that's what you're thinking, absolutely. So clearly that's happened. That's very.
I know.
Yeah, I bought a car for my 40th birthday once, and I would think I was only 38, so that was great. Actually, probably 36.
Celebrate early.
We don't need much encouragement, do we, Richard?
No, we
it's a
don't.
short trip to, hey, another car. Yeah, I get it.
Yeah, we all have problems. That's why we get
do.
along so well.
And very tolerant spouses, yeah.
So our next winner is Brian Bush with his 1997 Ford Mustang Coupe. Rio Red with candy coat, 100 shots of nitrous, custom interior, custom rear seat delete, custom paint, modified Mach 460 sound system, aluminum trunk pan, underhood bling, various suspension mods, cowl hood, Cervini's front bumper, The car was a former rental car that he has owned for 18 years. The car has been to shows in 35 states and 3 countries to date, always driven 254,000 miles, and 3 of his kids learned to drive stick in this car, and he met his wife in this car.
To survive all that, 3 kids and a wife in the same car?
I know, 250,000 miles.
Yeah,
That's ridiculous.
That's amazing.
Really cool.
Incredible.
I mean, yeah, surviving 3 kids learning to drive, that's a accomplishment for any car.
Actually, you guys had 1 car, and all the boys survived in that stick car.
I think
But
each one of us hit something. Those bumpers were,
Well, but you got 4 quarters, so you had a quarter left over. I get it. Yeah, I understand.
1 clutch per kid. You know,
There you
as,
go. Yeah,
as you're
you just
learning
got
to
them.
drive,
You got them set aside.
at least 3 clutches.
There's your clutch. There's
Right.
your clutch. We'll put that one in later.
Yeah, right.
Real quick, Lawrence E. is asking how he can submit for next time. You guys can submit by emailing social@griotsgarage.com. Tell us the year, make, model, what makes the car special to you, so on and so forth. And we have a slide we can put up later. That'll
yeah,
have that
don't make us
information for you.
guess. That's the worst thing. If you give us incomplete information or don't give us a full photo of the car, you know, take your thumb off the camera and give us a nice shot of the car. Nothing illegal, but yeah, we really appreciate the submissions. We love pictures of the car out in the wild. You'll see that as a recurring theme today, especially with our guests here from Everyday Driver. We want drivers.
Awesome. And
For
then,
sure. For sure.
sorry, back to our next winner. We have Tim Casey with his LSX swapped 1954 Chevy half-ton pickup. Tim is 36 years old and has been wrenching on cars with his dad as long as he can remember. He always liked the 47 to 55 Chevy trucks, but never liked the original state of them, slow and riding rough. He had always dreamed to have one of those trucks that can be driven and used and fun and fast and use modern technology. He says, I don't have a garage big enough to work in, and this would have to be tackled outside in my driveway. I bought this 54 half-ton in the end of May 2018. I repaired all the rust to try and make it look like an Arizona barn find. Mustang 2 front end, all new suspension with power steering, etc. And most importantly, a fuel-injected modern V8 LS engine out of a 2003 GMC Yukon. I literally did everything to this truck, paint and all, 100% by myself with some help from my wife, and it only took 5 months to complete.
Wow. Holy moly.
you know what I love about this? I love the cup holders that are oil filters.
Thank you. I was going to ask if I was seeing that right, because
Yes.
I was kind of looking
Yeah.
at it going, am I seeing oil filters in there? That's really cool. Great idea.
Yeah, I mean, Tim sent us some images of where he built this truck, and he's not exaggerating. It's under a tarp and an easy up. So it was pretty astounding.
Well, it would explain the paint going in and out on some fenders.
He did give his wife credit for 2 tasks, and that was helping him remove the windshield and carrying the bed away from the frame. So she did help out.
But a 5-month turnaround is practically all he did, it seems like.
I
That's
know.
amazing to me.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Thank you, Tim.
Yeah, it's very cool.
All right, and then our winner for Best Story was Bill Dunphy with his 1973 Camaro Z28. Bill bought this Camaro in 1976, and he claims he had to marry his girlfriend in late 1977 because he couldn't afford to pay her back for the parts that she had helped him buy. They are still married
No
43
way.
years later. They enjoy the car together now. It has over 364,000 miles and is on its 3rd engine over the course of Bill's ownership and was last overhauled in 2010.
So all the
Is she buying the engines now? Is that what's happening? Is she still buying parts for the car? I'm just asking.
That's
I don't know.
unknown. We don't
Yeah.
know.
I think if any girl is out there and you really want to hook a guy, go out and buy all sorts of car parts, and that seems like the way to the man's heart.
Clearly, in this case, for sure.
It's it's beginning of a great relationship,
Yeah.
right? I mean, most
Really.
relationships have the stressor of car parts versus purses. And if they're already both contributing to the car before they get married, that is a union that is meant to be. 43 years.
Absolutely.
Yeah, congratulations on that. And I love the one of the first shots where he's holding up the trophy. And he almost has hair like Nick does.
Oh, gosh.
Little longer than Nick's hair. Maybe not on top, but
One thing to point out, first of all, I love second-gen Camaros. Great story, Bill. It made us all chuckle. So you're the winner. You're going to get a Concours Lawn Kit for best story. If you have questions that you want us to debate with Paul and Todd, and you're used to that format, submit them in the YouTube Live. We're going to get to some questions for you guys as well as we move through the rest of the show.
For sure.
But if you want to hear a debate, if you want to hear us jostle a little bit, provoke us in the live chat on the YouTube stream.
Just as long as everybody knows that I am the final arbiter. And let's get back to the Bronco. Okay. Hello, anybody out there?
We learned that quickly. And it's all good. All roads lead to Bronco, Richard. I'm sensing a trend here, for sure, yeah.
One other thing, if you're enjoying this live stream, be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel at Griot's Garage and hit the notification button. If you enjoy Everyday Driver and spirited debates and a lot of just car content, be sure to follow them. Instagram, you have a podcast you can subscribe to and a YouTube channel that you can subscribe to, in addition to watching your Motor Trend TV show.
We'd love to have you all of the above. Or what I find great is that various people in our audience just consume it in one place, which is great. So even our website, everydaydriver.com, is a hub where you can find, like, what is your tier you want to be involved in. You want to be involved in all of them, great, but a lot of people are just podcast or just TV show or whatever, and that's awesome. It's awesome.
I just want to let you know that
content, so.
Yes, but my son knows how to plug something, and he just plugged your show and stuff, and maybe
we got to come back around to product. That was subtle, Richard. Well done. Yeah, good job.
Don't worry. Okay.
Oh man. Okay. Well, let's move on to our next set of honorable mentions. Classic.
Yeah.
I like those the 1970 on Chevelles with the big square front and a convertible in it, man.
They really hit the grill just right as well. Just a little thin bar going across.
I think Paul and Todd were mentioning the bus behind it. They wanted to know what was going on with that, right?
We should put those two on that bus and send it down the road.
Okay. Wow. All right.
It'd be nice, Dad.
It's okay. Whatever. We can take it.
I love these Impalas too.
Yeah.
So
Remember the Darth Vader commercial for the Impalas? That was very fun.
Nova SS. These are all like SS cars, pretty much.
Yeah.
This gentleman had owned this car for a very long time and had finished a recent restoration of it. 71 Nova, I think.
Check out the picture down on the lower right.
I think that was original state when he bought it.
Yeah, but it still has the stripe going down, but I can't read what's on the back corner. Anyway, that's cool. There we are. Beautiful flag.
Doesn't get much more American than a Mustang with an American flag in front of a Ford shop.
Yes, for sure.
Gorgeous.
Gotta love that.
There might have been a small debate about the color of the lights, but other than that, it was a sweet shot.
So, these look like Pontiac 17-inch wheels or something. They look really nice on this car.
We got a lot of second-gen Camaros.
Yeah.
And second-gen F-bodies coming in.
That does look clean.
This gentleman said that this car was so nice that he wouldn't allow Chip Foose to touch it. So it's pretty strong words.
Oh, all right.
Ooh.
Dang. But he's using Griot's products. So there's your endorsement right there, Richard. Chip Foose can't touch it, but you can use Griot's products. So there you go. That's
Todd, now you're learning. Thank you. Really love that.
All right, Stevie, we have any debate questions coming in live?
No, but we did have a question from Jack Ham. He said, "Is there a car Nick got that Richard tried to talk him out of?"
Nick tries to talk me out of cars every day. Literally, like he tried to talk me out of this Moriarty, and literally this is the coolest car ever made. I mean, when was the last time you could just shake the whole car like that?
That suspension seems supple.
Yeah, that seems like you should be your new daily. That'd be perfect. Yeah.
I had a moment, and my brother and Forrest and my dad were talking about this car, and they were saying, "Oh, it's the same kind of underpinnings as a Deux Chevaux." It's like, "What are you guys talking about, Deux Chevaux?" And they're like, "It's a Deux Chevaux. Everybody knows a Deux Chevaux. 2CV, Deux Chevaux."
Yeah. Yes.
I
yeah.
I think it was before my coffee or something, but
It's a little, I mean, it's a 600 cc air-cooled motor. Takes a spoonful of gas every 800 miles. And it's plastic. That body is plastic. So
Honestly, what weigh, Richard? It's got to weigh nothing.
What
it
does it
probably
weigh?
weighs 8 pounds. With me in it,
Okay, good.
550. So,
Oh, there you go. There's all the stats we needed. That's perfect.
all right. So next category is the everyday driver picks.
Uh-oh.
Yes. Our
Awesome.
first winner was Andrew Jackson. He said, my submission for virtual caffeine and gasoline is my 1994 Mazda Miata M Edition. Even though it is towing around the edges, it is my favorite car. This car was purchased by my dad and myself to be our autocross car so we could get started in autocross. My favorite Griot's Garage product to use has to be the heavy-duty wheel cleaner. Since I regularly autocross and track the car, my wheels get baked in brake dust.
That makes sense, because actually that works on my Lotus like crazy, is I use the wheel cleaner, and it's killer.
Yeah, it
because
is.
I am not good with wheels. And if you're doing brake dust, then that's perfect. I like that because we were talking about drive your car. That car gets driven, which is
Definitely.
really cool.
Definitely. I love that, yeah, you're doing that and tracking it and driving the daylights out of it. That's what they're for. That's what they're for.
All right, our next winner is Scott Dayhoff with his 1988 Volkswagen Scirocco 16-valve. This car has been my daily driver for 20 years this year. Yep, I celebrated my 10th wedding anniversary and my 20th mistress anniversary in the same year. The car is now a tad above 236,000 miles on the original motor. Anyone in the old school Volkswagen community knows that our cars are way more than cars. They are family. As far as favorite Griot's Garage products right now, it's the G9. Just got mine for Christmas, and it's amazing.
I'm still confused.
You're really clean Scirocco. Those are really
Yeah,
cool.
and Scott, I'm sure you have wanted the new Scirocco to come to the States, and then, of course, Volkswagen discontinued that. But there's, yeah, Scirocco, just the name, the styling, just so classic. Love it.
So he's been married for 10 years, and he's had a mistress for 12.
20.
Oh, 20.
I think he's calling his car the mistress.
The car's the mistress.
Right.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you. I'm plugged in now.
It's okay. All right.
All right, our next is Jack Ham. He said, my Jeep gets dirty and needs to be cleaned frequently. I also recently got a Golf R for daily driving, which has sparked my interest in cleaning cars. Making cars shine is pretty rewarding. In his 2015 Jeep Wrangler Rubicon, kids and dog don't leave much room for camping gear, so he built an M416 military trailer to match to lug gear around. It has a fridge, same battery, and wheels and tires as the Jeep, so he can swap gear in the backcountry if he ever has a problem. Every time we go on a trip, I see people do a pole next to us to take a photo.
I think that's everybody's dream, is to be doing this, right?
That trailer's nuts. I just love that he built that so it's literally a whole go anywhere setup, and even to the detail of same batteries and stuff. So if I need
Yeah,
a
that is
spare, I'm
cool.
carrying a spare.
I have a soft spot for trailers like that. I
you
see
do.
them at various shows and SEMA and that kind of thing. I think, man, what a great idea. You could just, tow everything out in the back country, and then it unfolds into this origami thing. And you just, slide out the stove, and you got your tent and your ladder, and pretty interesting.
Paul's kind of underselling it. What happens if we go to SEMA is there's a whole floor of this overlanding stuff, and he walks in there and goes into a coma, and I can just leave and go to other halls and come back, and he's
the
still standing
aspirational
underneath
nature.
something. Yeah, for
It's
sure.
like you said, Richard, everybody wants to be doing this kind of thing. So it's this aspirational thing. Like, what could I go do? How could my life change if I had that?
My first car was a Jeep, and I did a lot of that. Just piled in all my friends. We'd go camping, and we didn't even take a tent. We didn't have enough room for a tent. So I'm not even sure if we had enough money for a tent. But yeah, Jeeps are it's probably one of my favorite cars.
I like that
Top
he
10 for
uses his Jeep. And that one shot of
sure.
he's towing the trailer over the terrain too. He doesn't, clearly is
Totally.
got some screws loose, all right? So we appreciate that.
The trailer's got screwed loose. We'd never say that about Jack, right, Jack?
All right, so Todd and Paul each picked their own cars. So guys, here are your picks.
Yeah, I picked this one. This is Todd. I picked this one. Now, that's because, first off, I rarely see these. This is an Opel. This is a 1973 Opel. And this is David's car. And what I like the story, but I have to say, I have never driven one of these and I've always wanted to. So it caught my eye instantly because of that. Also, I feel like when I do see them, which is rare, they're almost always beat up. Like
Well,
it's
yeah,
tough
people
coming out
wanna
of the
take care of
interior, and because they're, let's be honest, they are old now, and they
Right.
and this one is pristine. And the thing that makes me laugh about this story is that David's dad had one. And in high school,
Yeah.
David, of course, like you do, proceeds to wreck it. So it leaves his dad's life because he wrecked it. So then later in life, while he's in the military, he finds one, and after he was in the military, he restores it to this pristine condition, and it reminds him of his dad. And I also suspect, David, that now you have a nicer one than the one you wrecked. So
Yeah,
there's family
probably,
connection here.
probably.
It's also gorgeous. It's the cleanest one I've seen in a long time. I had to pick it.
Fantastic. Beautiful car. Love the color too. Classic shapes. Classic styling shapes.
So Todd, for both of these picks, Todd's pick and Paul's pick, we have 2 winners in this category. So each of you guys are essentially giving these guys a Concours car or Concours lawn
That's
kit.
fantastic.
So.
Awesome.
All right, Paul, what'd you pick?
All right. Well, this was John Spare's car, 1980 Triumph TR7 into a TR8 conversion. And John, I loved reading your story, your background about it. But I'll be honest, I love the styling because this just said sports car to me. And I grew up with a neighbor who had a TR7 across the street from me, and he was always so kind. I would just wander over there to look at it. I didn't know anything about handling or power or what driving a sports car, owning a sports car meant. And he was always tinkering with it, and he would let me sit in it, and I loved the pop-up headlights, but I love the classic British styling of this.
Yeah,
It just evokes sports car memories, and just, you want to go out and drive this thing. And so I love that you have, and it does tie into your ownership as well. And, you've had a close relationship with the prior owner, which is fantastic. And I love that you are keeping this up. And honestly, I love that everybody is using Griot's products to keep these cars nice. And Richard and Nick, I don't know if I've told you my backstory, but I have used Griot's products for over 20 years, if you can believe it. But it happened when I started going to the Monterey car shows in the late 90s. I think my first show was 96, 97, somewhere in there. And I spotted your logo back then. And so it's a long time love affair, honestly. So my favorite product is Speed Shine.
You use it a lot. And
use it a
it goes
lot.
on shoots with us too.
It
because
does.
we're standing
As a
there,
matter of
need to
fact.
shoot a car, and that just got a bunch of bugs on it because we just drove it
we
hard
take
for
that
camera.
stuff everywhere.
So, all right, where's Speed Shine? That happens every shoot for sure. Yeah.
John, great car. Love it.
I like the wedge of that car. I just like it's kind of like a sharp little 80s cheese wedge.
Yeah,
It's the classic stop wedge, isn't it? Yeah, for sure.
it kind of looked a little goofy for its, when it just came out. Because it replaced the TR6, which was this beautiful, voluptuous body, and it was just so strikingly different that, it polarized half the country, I think. So.
Yeah.
Doesn't take much these days.
Nope.
All right, this is a car show, no politics. Stevie, you got some questions?
Yes, the True Adonis was wondering how you guys feel about electric cars versus gasoline, and where you see the future of cars going if gasoline is phased out and all we have is electric auto driving cars.
Ooh, that's a lot to unwrap. You guys want to tackle that first?
We'll touch on it really quickly,
Yeah.
and that is, we've touched on this on the podcast quite a bit and discussed the proliferation of electric cars, but we have talked to various people in the industry, and at this point, the breakdown is still 1.4% of a full battery electric car. It's just 1.4% of the market at this point. And we don't see gasoline cars going away ever, to be honest. I mean, there's going to be electric cars come up, and we're seeing that with the Ford Mach-E, the Mustang Mach-E, and the Porsche Taycan, and those kinds of things. And every car company will at some point offer an electric car, but we don't ever see the gasoline car and that going away, at least not in the next 20 to 30 years, to be honest.
Well, and this is the thing that we've debated, is because we talk about this in these terms, the non-car part of the news. We're obviously all obsessed with the car part of the news, but the non-car part of the news, the only part of the car culture they really talk about is the rise of electrics. So you would get the impression it's 25, 30, 50% of the market. It's, as Paul's saying, it's a tiny fraction of the market still. and all the infrastructure that would be involved to do major autonomy and that kind of thing. The impression is it's around the corner. The reality is it's probably decades away before you even have lots of autonomous cars rolling around. Now, there are great benefits to city centers, absolutely. There's crazy things we've all seen with Teslas and other things as far as sheer acceleration because the engines have instant torque. There are definitely plus sides. What I think is more likely, and Paul's already touched on it, is that there's going to be a balance of lots of options in the market versus, okay, no more gasoline, now it's all electric. I just don't see that coming.
And autonomous indicates that there's no more accidents. That's what it implies to everybody. I don't think that's true, honestly. And the more I read about it, just by being autonomous doesn't necessarily guarantee a safer experience. And in some cases it does. It just means we're doing other things over here. But there's still going to be that, and I still don't think you can replace the human element.
Well, but also all of the regulation and changes and stuff. Think about all of the stuff that's going to have to happen to create a city so you can have an autonomous car lane. I mean, just the level of infrastructure change is going to take a while there, even if they exist and can operate in trains. We'll see.
We could keep going.
We
Back to you
certainly
guys.
could, yes.
I think people should watch the original Blade Runner and then tell me if they want to live like that. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, that's crazy.
We're a happy-go-lucky car show. We are not purporting a dystopian future here. You know what? we both had a chance recently to drive a Taycan, and I will say it is scary fast.
I was giggling.
But it definitely still lacks stuff for my wants as an enthusiast. I like a visceral experience. I like a smell. I like a build, through a power band.
I didn't like
double clutch downshifting and those type of experiences. But to your guys' point, a multitude of options and quite frankly, electric cars that look better, that's a future I'm okay with. And I gotta believe that even in that future, however many years away it is, there's still gonna be a place for petrol-fueled cars to either become collectors, and that's not going to go away. That's the biggest fear in the car industry, is that the enthusiasm is going to die. And I think it's stronger than ever. And if you guys have been watching Bring a Trailer recently, the record prices are being set by manual, naturally aspirated sports cars.
Yeah.
Right. Yep.
If they produce an electric Bronco, I'll buy one. If not, we're still on gasoline, please.
But you have to say you were shocked at how much you liked the Taycan.
I was giggly. I absolutely thought the experience was surreal, but I didn't like riding in a coffin. I mean, I couldn't see out of the thing. The back end, was just... Anyway.
It's a modern car, and for all the reasons nobody really likes brand new modern cars because of visibility and all the bells and whistles that beep at you for doing things you should be allowed to do.
I just don't want somebody in the atmosphere up there just going, okay, Richard, you should crash into this wall in the next 5 seconds. Hit the button. Going for a ride. I want to do the crashing, okay?
Yeah, that was a great question, true and honest. Thank you for participating. Let's keep the show.
We have one more that'll be pretty fun. Are you sure?
Yeah, let's do it. Let's see. Well,
all right. Sorry.
Yeah.
Bill B asked, track, daily, or crush, a Moriarty, an original Subaru 360, and an AutoZam AZ1.
What was the last one?
AutoZam.
AutoZam AZ1.
All right, hang on. This is
crush.
good. Track daily crush.
I love it. I have my answer. I am tracking the AutoZam AZ1.
Okay.
I am crushing the original Subaru 360, but I want to be seen in that Moriarty.
Oh my God.
Yes.
On a daily basis.
It's
That
actually...
sounds like a pander.
Honestly,
It does,
if
a
you
little
drive
bit,
this
yes,
Moriarty
actually.
around town, I did it for like 5 minutes, and people just jump in the back. I don't know, they just want to be a part. It's almost like a clown car. And
You should have a shirt. I am not your Uber. If people jump in, I'm not your Uber.
I'm crushing the Mojave, just so everybody's clear.
What? You can't crush a Mojave. That's the thing.
I'm with
It
you.
has.
The doors alone make the daily the Subaru. Honestly, the crazy doors alone on the Subaru make it that. And the AZ1, which I can barely like touching the top of the glass fit in, would be scary on a track. Because now with a helmet, I think I'm gonna have to sit like this. But I would track that car for sure.
So just one last thing before we go on with this. This car cannot be crushed because it's plastic. And you crush it, it bounces back to the original shape. It's an amazing car. It never rusts out. This will be here long after I'm gone, and it's the Mojave. It's a multi-purpose car. It's a track car. Just nobody realizes it.
Yeah, a track car.
Yes.
I'd like to see it corner once and it just roll off into oblivion forever. So I'm crushing the Mojave.
You can't
The suspension demo looked like that is a daily use car.
That's true.
It is. And
Any pothole.
It gets 60 miles to the gallon, so you don't even need electricity.
All right, let's move on to our next honorable mention category. Thank you all for submitting your photos. Again, if you want to participate, we'll put up the participation information a little bit later, but we're having spirited debate, guys. Keep the questions coming. We're loving it.
I did like Jan's car, by the way.
I want a Fox body Mustang. I don't know. I can't get it out
Is there
of
a
my
car
head.
that you don't want, son? I mean, seriously.
I got problems.
That looks fast.
Yeah, it does.
I feel like I remember, and guys, correct me if I'm wrong, but this was the guy that had sent us photos of it at the drag strip, and he was running 10s, so maybe 9s.
Wow.
I don't want to speak too soon, but this car's getting put to use.
The Ferrari Testanova.
Yeah. Hey, we all stopped in our tracks seeing this nice of an AMX.
Yes.
it was
absolutely we
cool.
did. We flipped past it and came back and went, wait. Did we see?
You
we thought
do
we saw?
not
It's
see
awesome.
these
Yeah.
anywhere.
And we were telling you guys that when Richard and I went to Wenatchee, which is on the east side of Washington, to pick up a 78 Cherokee Chief S, this guy had owned for 41 years. We drove it back. He had a gold AMX in his garage, and he was essentially clearing space. And he said, hey, this car's, pretty nice. You guys want to buy this too? And I could see the light in my dad's eye of 2 for 1. But we left it there. We still know the gentleman, so we could probably go pry it out of his hands. But,
We're going back for it. It's gold too, which is, I don't know, kind of my color right now.
I just saw the undeniable compulsion in my dad's eyes as another car was
I'm a
offered
car
to
guy.
him.
Yeah, you are, for sure.
Love it.
I was going to ask this owner if this is Gregory or Jesse. I have a list here.
It was
if you
Gregory.
want to sell me those wheels, I will straight up trade you for 17x8 brand new BBSs. Those would go on my E30 M3. I will trade you, and if you want them. So email me.
I'll take the motor. I'll take the motor. I think Philip will take the seats.
It's so clean. I just love this, the
Why would you
16s.
Parting up the poor guy's car. It's beautiful.
If you want to sell us your car, we'll part it out and put it on our other classic BMWs.
That's not
We
going to
like
have.
this
See,
one.
this is why people hold on to their stuff.
Yeah.
They don't want to.
Exactly. Don't let the Griot's guys get it. They'll be in pieces.
Speaking of Griot's guys, I'll make a plug for my son, Philip, who's with Griot's Motors. They just opened not too long ago. I think he sold his first car not too long ago. So anyway,
Glad to hear it. You guys
all in
had
the
that in the
family.
works. That's awesome to hear.
Yeah, it's finally open. Next time you guys are able to come up here, we'll do another live broadcast or whatever we can do, drive a few more cars. The cars are more accessible because Griot's Motors has been organized and open. So that
Good.
project is completed. So we'll be able to do some stuff from there next time, and you guys will enjoy that.
That'd be great.
Awesome. Right on.
This was a beautiful Pantera. He did a lot of work to it, had a lot of shots, but the front end is off of a 05, 06 Ford GT. You definitely noticed that.
I love
That's a
Pantera guys.
shame.
They do anything they want, and it's always over the top, but it's always awesome. Look at the wheels, just
Yeah, totally.
nuts.
I think you're probably correct. This is a classic car that there's not many purists or
No.
regulations on how you can style these
No,
cars.
I mean, but But look at the front end. I mean, the creativity to do that and to pull that off in just a balanced fashion is what Pantera guys are all about.
I've always loved the Italian styling with American power. I've always loved that concept.
No issue with that. You're preaching to the choir, Paul.
Love it. Awesome.
Okay, our next category is best photo. Unless we've got a riveting hot debate topic.
No
Stevie.
more. Not yet.
Okay. All right.
They're scared now. We could go for 20 minutes on a simple question.
Yeah, feel free to fire away if you're in the YouTube live. Ask a question in the chat. I think that track crush daily is a pretty good question.
No, it's not. It's a horrible question. You guys
on our
want
podcast. It's a regular thing on our podcast.
to crush my Mahari? What the hell?
I'm with you, Richard. I want to just cruise around in that thing because you meet so many nice people. People just want to be your friend when you're in it, right?
Like I said, everyone just like jumps off the sidewalk, jumps into the car. I take them like 3 blocks. You know, normally they're carrying like a bag of liquor with them, but other than that.
Everything about that story is normal, yeah.
Oh, man, yeah, that happens all the time. All right, best photo.
Our first winner is George Fuentes with his S52 swapped E30 325 IS. He said it's a pretty sweet ride, and he wants to pass it down to his son. He actually met Richard at Detail Fest 2 years ago and wanted to say thank you for stopping and taking a picture with his car.
I want you to look at that picture. I did not split my pants. See that? I'm down on one knee. I did not split my pants.
Well done. Bravo.
Yeah, anything E30, put an S52, straight 6 out of an E36 M3, got a lot more power.
Yeah.
Our next
Thank you,
winner is Stephen Bunker with his 1987 GMC Suburban. Original engine, TBI fuel-injected 350 SBC. Original interior, one repaint 10 years ago. Lowered with Ride Tech suspension, 20-inch US mags wheels. He loves the size of the rig and the fact that his dad had square bodies when he was growing up. And his favorite Griot's product is Speed Shine.
That photo has so much motion to it, and that thing is so clean.
I always like those. Remember the split rear doors on those? That was the best truck to take to drive-in movie theaters. Because you could open the door, you shove a mattress in the back, and you open the doors and back it up to the screen, you're good.
Those things are massive. My buddy Zach, my lifelong friend who we used to have a detailing service together, his mom had one of those that she kept for like 10 years too long, and it was red. It was pretty much a fire engine with the barn doors. It's perfect for our detailing gear. We just throw everything in the back of it. But it's a little unfair. Stephen Bunker is the photographer for the Good Guys Rod and Custom Association, so I'm not sure he's driving that car, but he probably took the photo.
I think he's running alongside of it.
Either way, it's a sweet photo. Stephen does a lot of great work. Stephen, if you're watching, thank you for submitting. Can't wait to go to some Good Guys shows soon. And we're going to expect that you wear our Griot's Garage t-shirt whenever you can.
All right, and then our next winner is John W. Walker with his 1950 Mercury Monterey. John is from Riverton, Utah, and this car is 100% stock, and he is the second owner. Has a 255 flathead V8 and a 3-speed manual.
I wondered about Utah, looking at the mountains in the background there, 'cause that's where we are.
Very cool. Gorgeous car.
Yeah, John submitted a couple photos from us to us, but yeah, the photos of this car just around town, it looked like it just belonged still to this day.
I think that's a Buick Invicta in the back. So,
It looks like, I was wondering about that too, yeah.
yeah.
It's got some good taste.
Or
And I'm a sucker for mountain shots.
As are we, yeah.
Yeah.
Our next winner is Luis Velez with his 1964 Volkswagen Combi, mix of rust and patina and bare metal, not much to look at, nicknamed La Fea Bus or the Ugly Bus. 1776cc air-cooled motor. I picked up this bus off someone's yard, not running, and painted with house paint, so I made it look like it is now. I use it to go around town and the beach. The late Jesse Combs from the All Girls Garage approved, R.I.P. Jesse.
Very cool. Love that shot of that interior. You realize how he got that shot because you could lean into the front windshield there and just stick the camera in.
Yep.
You can't do that with any other kind of car.
You got in
Only
through the
with
front
that
glass.
one. That's how we
you're
got
right.
that photo.
Well, I think those windows were the first ejection type of windows where you just open it up and if you got hit, then you just go right out the window without breaking the glass.
We're off in the weeds,
You
guys.
cleared the accident. You just cleared it completely.
That is awful.
Clear it
That's terrible.
completely.
Now, who doesn't like a Type 2 bus? I mean,
But I love
to have that picture with the All Girls Garage. Rest in peace, Jesse Combs, fastest woman on earth. Pretty cool.
Yeah.
All right, and then our winner is Alex Asham. He said this car is special to me because because Generation 1 Vipers have a reputation of being completely raw machines. There is no ABS, there is no traction control, there are no door handles, there are no windows, there are virtually no creature comforts. It's a massive 8.0 V10, a 6-speed manual, and not much else. It's a euphoric experience to drive. My favorite Griot's product is the Best to Show wax. When I first got the car, the paint was horribly neglected. I spent 11 hours claying using my Griot's Orbital with a 6-inch pad and correcting cream and finishing with Best of Show wax. After applying the Best of Show wax, it was amazing to see how deep the finish was.
Yeah, it looks great in that photo.
Phenomenal. Gorgeous photo.
I love Vipers. I don't know. We've been talking about Viper owners as kind of a self-selecting community. And I don't own one, but this is like, to all of his points, this is just a death trap of a crazy machine. And I don't know how they managed to make it for so long. I have a feeling it's going to come back at some point in time. If Ralph Gills has anything to do with it, it'll come back.
And the V10s just sound just amazing. But I know a guy that had a Viper. He had it for like 5 seconds, let the clutch out. I think he did a donut in his driveway. And so he
Makes
went back.
parking breeze. Just turn it around right here.
That is an engine wearing a car.
Yeah, no, they're insane cars. Thank you.
Before we get to the next honorable mentions, we did have someone asking if Griot's Motors has a website that they can visit.
It should be up and operational pretty soon.
I think Monday is when they're going to launch their website. So
Yeah.
for anybody paying attention to Griot's Motors, we will be sharing their grand opening as soon as they are open. But yeah, they were attempting to open in April. Obviously, everything's been slowed down quite a bit, but I think everybody should be pretty excited for what they've got going on there. We're excited. I know we're excited for my brother and for Forrest to have that space to really crank out some cars. And
Yeah, if you just stay out of the shop, they'd get some work done.
yes, that is true. I do no work here at Girls Garage. All right, any other debate questions? Come on, guys, you got to fire off some debate questions.
No, they're talking about taking this to a riot, whether you would feel safe or not in that.
I don't think you'd feel safe in this car at any speed. This is Ralph Nader to a T.
Yeah, no kidding.
Oh, come on, guys. Seriously. Look at the suspension. It's just,
Perfect. It's perfect
that?
just like it is,
Comfy.
Richard. I get it.
Looking
I
comfy.
do understand, yes.
just
Okay,
go
well,
right over
let's move on to
everything.
our last category of honorable mentions. And come on, chat. I want a juicy debate topic to end this show on.
It's ready
You're looking for fighting words. I love it.
It's ready.
You know, it's amazing the diversity of cars we get
I
submitted.
know.
I mean,
I love this.
we get motorhomes, planes, cars from the 30s, cars from the 50s.
We've never
everything.
gotten a locomotive, though.
We haven't seen a train. If anybody owns a train that they detail,
A train.
Nice.
Yeah.
yeah. TTRS, just bitchin' car.
Yeah.
Gorge. Gorgeous.
That's been cleaned up a bit.
Yeah, he called this outlaw-esque. I don't think Rod Emery built it, but this guy has done an amazing amount of customization to this car.
I love the door handles.
Yeah, the drill door
Door handles are great. Yeah, it is kind of outlaw in a sense.
That looks like a sticker you get from a BMW CCA event, Oktoberfest. So that must be down in South Carolina, I presume.
Yeah,
Yep.
looks like it, yeah.
Gorgeous color.
This gentleman had a pretty good story about owning this car for a long time.
Photo up in the upper right. Is he up on a berm there?
Upper right, he's at Daytona in a 45-degree bank.
Oh man, I did not even
Yeah.
realize that.
Wow, that's awesome.
That's bitchin'. Yeah, that looks pretty hairy from the angle.
It does.
And to be in that car,
Yeah.
doing that.
I like it.
Wow.
All right, that guy clearly has screws loose. Welcome to the club.
For sure, yeah. With friends here, for sure.
Yeah. Joe Edgar, this guy had a pretty good story. His family actually all surprised him with this Mach 1. They like, everybody was in on it except for him. He walked out and his siblings crawled out of the back of it, and it's his Mustang. So
That's awesome. I love it.
Best of show.
all right, our final category for today, best of show.
Yes, our first winner is Scott Kaler with his 1971 Datsun 240Z. He said, "This is my 1971 Datsun 240Z, original and unrestored with 35,000 miles. It has been in my family since it was new. I purchased it from my uncle, who was the original owner in 2015. It is due for its yearly bath and detail. I love the PFM Terry Weave drying towels."
It's unbelievable.
Look at how clean that is. Wow.
Gorgeous. Engine 2.
Scott, if you ever get tired of that car, call my son Philip, Griot's Motors, griotsmotors.com.
Yeah, that's going to be an expensive purchase. Those cars have just gone astronomical, and for it to be unrestored, 35,000 miles.
That would ring the bell right there.
Yeah, that's gonna it's gonna trade for some dollars for sure.
That was the first car I peeled out on, 14 years old. My sister's...
These are the milestones, right? 14 years old. Well done. I like that.
Yeah, 14 years old. My sister's friend threw me the keys to her Z, and so I didn't have a license.
I've heard more about your teenage years because of these virtual caffeine gasolines than I
I
ever
know.
had in my
Sorry,
entire
Mom. I didn't. I was a good boy.
I do, yeah.
All right, our next winner is Jim Nygaard with his 1968 Ford F-250 4x4 Highboy. This truck features a 427 side oiler and C6 automatic transmission, which are his favorite feature. He has owned it for over 44 years and did a frame-off restoration by himself. His favorite Griot's product is Speed Shine.
Yeah,
Look at him. He's using Speed Shine down in the right-hand corner.
That's why the paint survives for so long.
And Jim, that's why you're getting a T-shirt. You preached to the choir. You appeased us. But no, I mean, that truck is so clean. I think Jim is
No,
from...
I totally agree.
I think Jim is from Montana, and I couldn't think of a better Montana truck.
Yeah, I mean, especially in the snow with a 427 side oiler. Probably, I would imagine when he pulls out, and it's icy, the guy's going sideways for the first 3/4 of a mile, and he finally gets it under control.
Probably, yeah. And that's the fun of it, right? Yeah, that sounds like the perfect
It's
winter
just
truck.
classic colors on that truck, too.
Yeah.
I love it.
All right, our next winner is Jordan Polites with his 1987 Buick Regal Turbo. He bought this car from a Craigslist ad. It had fresh paint and interior, but the motor was knocking. With the help of friends and family, the engine was replaced and the rest of the mechanical restoration done throughout 2012. Since then, it's been through multiple changes and upgrades, many by Anderson Performance in Queenstown, Maryland. I like that it's different, and you don't see many of these on the road, even less than more popular Grand National. It's won multiple awards, gets thumbs up everywhere it goes, and is a blast to drive.
And it's maroonish, isn't it?
It's like eggplant,
Yeah,
metallic
it's an interesting
eggplant.
color on that. That's cool.
I thought they were all black. There were some blue ones too, but for the most part, you only see black ones.
I want one.
I know. This has been our
This is
our
definitely on
latest
radar.
fixation is the G bodies, the mid-late '80s G bodies, and
Yeah.
man, yeah,
You
you
know
can't
why?
get a GNX. You can't get a deal on a GNX, and most of those have no miles. They're bricks.
You have to create your own.
Yeah, I love them. Really soft, responsive paint. That black that's on the Buicks, but yeah, this was you don't see the Regals, like you said. You only see the Grand Nationals, so I thought it was pretty cool.
Yeah, very.
Dig it.
All right, our next winner is Greg Radinsky with his 1995 Ford Lightning. He said, "Our family has had a long affair of loving fast cars and trucks. I figured this was the best of both worlds. This is my 95 Ford Lightning, bought in '08 after falling in love with them when introduced in '93, when I couldn't afford one. It has the potential to run 9s at the track due to a dart-blocked 412 cubic inch and a pair of comp billet turbos. She also runs...
Running 9s in that. Oh my gosh. Okay.
Twin turbo V8. Good goodness.
She also runs by way of a fast XFI electronic fuel injection system, and the trans is controlled via a US Shift Quick 4 controller. His dad inspired his love of cars, and this truck reminds him of his dad. Now I, along with my kids, enjoy it all the time, whether it's a cruise, cars and coffee, or a track night, and they love it as much as me," he said.
Wow.
Gorgeous. Forgot about the Ford Lightning. That is really cool looking.
I just watched a show on Chip Foose. He just did one of these cars. Sorry, I didn't mean to like slam your show, but
Oh, it's all good.
no, the Lightnings are they're just I don't know. There's not a bad line on them either, and just the name Lightning.
Well,
I'm all
the
over.
90s ones, I don't like, the ones that are a little, that like softer Ford truck era, I don't even know the period of time, but those Lightnings are cool. They're probably the coolest Ford truck of that era, but I like these original ones. And I mean, twin turbocharged V8, you're crazy. You're putting your kids in that thing? I guess so, but
Did
gotta
you see
learn sometime.
Yeah, the turbos are like right behind the grill, so it's like picking up massive cold air. That's ram-fed probably, and then turboed.
And just to clarify, Greg, I approve of this parenting style. I'm not questioning your logic of putting your kids in
We're
there.
all together with you on it. We totally agree.
hilarious.
Yes, for sure.
Yeah, but you're running 9s. I mean, that's what you're in the 130s. If you can run 9s, that car can move. Or that truck
Yeah.
can definitely.
Yeah. Same.
A little hairy.
So, Greg, bitchin' truck.
All right, and then our winner is Joy Curran with her 1970 Plymouth AAR Cuda. It's a 1970 lime green metallic Plymouth AAR Cuda 4-speed non-power steering with the 346 barrel and 3.91 gears. Her favorite product is Speed Shine, always used when arriving at the show for touch-ups and sparkling up the shine. And her next detailing project will be for the upcoming Carlisle Chrysler Nationals, July 10th through 12th. Growing up, she was surrounded and in love with all of her dad's uncle and friends' muscle cars. I was hooked at 6 years old and still hooked. I love all muscle cars, but I am a girl just in love with her Mopar.
Could be so cool.
Do we know if that's unrestored?
We didn't know that, but I can tell you this. She sent us some photos. She is extremely proud of her Mopar. She's got, she had the whole shirts and everything, and it was just so cool. I mean, this is a big, badass muscle car, and she was like, this is mine,
Love it.
She had a nickname for herself. I think they called her Cuda Girl in town when she's driving around. So,
That's awesome.
Joy, you are our best of show winner. So thank you for submitting that. You're going to get a Concours lawn kit and just a bitchin' Cuda.
The problem with this show is that I have a whole new list of cars to buy afterward. And honestly, I've been wanting an AR Cuda for a long time. So now, I don't know.
You guys know how to get a hold of him, right? griotsgarage.com, or just call and ask for the boss. He has
hard to tell. Yeah.
he has trouble saying no. Stevie, do we have any
Why
debate?
say no when you can say yes?
As we go. I love it.
Yeah.
The True Adonis asked Richard if you had to get rid of every single car you have except for one, which one would you keep?
Oh man. Well, I'd probably keep my old gal. She's a 911S, 1972. The same one where my dog bit the key. That's been in and out of my life, but it's back in my life now. I'd probably have to sell everything but that.
Wow.
So,
And we
That didn't
told us
take you
story
that
when we were on the podcast together. It's very cool.
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know. There was something about when I got the car back. It left my possession, and when I got it back, it was just like, you know, having your old girlfriend back. I don't know which one, but you know,
Oh my gosh.
that car was such a part of me for like 18 years or so when I owned it, and yeah, I would just absolutely love it. So, yeah, that's it.
All right, well, guys, it has been great to share this time with you. For Todd and Paul, everyday driver. Again, we knew we were going to get some spirited debates. I'm glad we had some questions thrown at us and got to chat and pick out a couple winners. And I can't wait for you guys to come back and see us again.
Yeah. We're hoping in the fall. We're going to see. We're going to hope in the
We
fall.
definitely,
Yeah.
we're looking forward to it.
Okay, well, we'll bust some cars out and check out the new
Great.
Griot's Motors facility. Just want to reiterate, thank you so much for everybody that participated. If we indicated that you're a winner, we're going to follow up with you, get you a t-shirt. Grand prize winners of each of the categories will get a Concours lawn kit. Be sure to follow Everyday Driver and everything they do, their podcast, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, Motor Trend TV. Did I miss anything, guys?
You've covered it. Everyday
You've
driver
covered it,
everywhere,
yeah.
so you can find us pretty easily for
Okay,
sure.
it's an
Thank you for
excellent
coming.
listen.
We love hanging with you guys. It's so great.
Yeah, and we really appreciate everything you guys do. We obviously get along and banter quite well, even though we always have to remember that Ricardo has final say or whatever that means.
And it's going to be a Bronco. These are the things we have
be
to
a
remember.
Bronco.
I get it, yeah.
And Nick, we need to have you back on the podcast very soon.
For sure, yeah.
We're looking forward to having you back.
Yeah, I'd love to take some detailing questions from your listeners and give them some input. You know, the car care industry is moving pretty fast, and we've got a lot of fun new products. And gosh, yeah, I enjoy. Again, we could chat for hours. We know this. So,
And I have to say, with all of my struggles to wash a car, thank God for a foamer, because now the Lotus, it actually looks even better and it's even easier. I'm telling you, easy is the thing for me. This guy will do all the hard stuff. I need the easy, and the
Well,
Lotus has to be washed well. So
I just want to thank all of our customers as well. You really are an inspiration to us here. I know, you know, my passion is a little off the wall, but it's nice to have a family that shares my passion, and I appreciate every picture that you know, you sent in, and you know, it's what has really kept us going here, and what, you know, really motivates us to create better stuff. And I just want to say thank you to everybody out there, and I'll let Nick close out the show.
yeah, thanks, Dad. And again, Paul and Todd, thank you so much for coming on. We will see you again sometime soon. Continued success with all of your ventures, and thank you everyone for tuning in and watching us. Without further ado, have fun in your garage.
thanks, everybody.